Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Irawan.
Are we still waiting, right?
Yes, we'll be starting shortly, inshallah.
All right, then. Okay. Let me mute.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. Once again, welcome to Halal Tourism 101 Episode 3 with the title that we brought today for all of you, How to Target the Growing Muslim Women Travelers. We are very delighted to have all of you with us on these sessions today. So for those the first time joining us, a very warm welcome. And for those who joined us in the earlier episodes of our free webinar series, it is wonderful to meet you again. So before we go into today's program, let me share a little bit about this webinar series. So this is the Halal Tourism. Okay, this is the Halal Tourism 101 free webinar series, a set of 5 free educational sessions specially curated to equip the industry professionals, marketers, and also educators with a deeper understanding of the Muslim-friendly travel market. If you like to stay updated on the next episodes and other learning opportunities, do follow us on our Instagram, CrescentRating Academy, to make sure you don't miss out on upcoming episodes. We already done with 2 episodes previously, and we also have another 2 episodes, so stay tuned for the other episodes. So a quick reminder on our program guidelines. We really encourage all of you to participate actively. Feel free to engage in discussions and share your thoughts because we believe all your thoughts can enrich our today's learning and experience. You may type your questions in the Zoom's chat anytime. If the speaker wishes, she may address them immediately. Otherwise, your questions will be covered during the Q&A sessions at the end, so don't worry. So now it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today. We have with us Mrs. Raudha Zaini, the Director of Operations of CrescentRating and HalalTrip. Rhoda brings over a decade of experience that she have in the global travel and tourism industry. She is recognized for her expertise in destination marketing, stakeholder engagement, project management, and digital-led campaigns. So some of her notable achievements includes spearheading the integrations of Crescent Ratings Muslim-friendly ratings into Klook's platform. This in a way to enhance the travel choices for the global audience worldwide. So we are truly honored to have her insights today with our sessions. So without further ado, the floor is yours, Rhoda.
Thanks, Nabila. I hope you can hear me well. It's okay? All right, great. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum, everyone. Thanks for taking your time out of your schedule today to come for the third episode of our webinar. I'm not sure wherever you are, but it's raining here since the morning in Singapore, so weather's really nice and cozy. Um, so today the topic is about Muslim women travelers. If you have been with us from the first episode, we talked about, general Muslim travel market and how you can tap into this market. Today we're going into segment specific, which is Muslim women travelers. But before we get into deep diving into the specific profile, I just want to again kind of set the stage and the context of why this segment is so significant for us. So the Muslim travel market, as you know, next slide. I think I can control it. Okay. So the Muslim travel market, so I think some of you may have seen this graph before. It's from our latest report that we released earlier in this year. So when we talk about the numbers and the size of the market, right? Last year we hit 176 million international arrivals. Not only is this market recovering, but it's surpassing pre-pandemic levels by 10%. So that's a 25% jump from the year before. And it's expected by 2030 that there will be 245 million arrivals, spending close to $235 billion. So what this means is, this market has got a huge economic influence. It's not a niche market. And what exactly is driving this growth? So two things. One is there is a rising demand for halal conscious travel globally, and two, the rise of technology, especially AI, for making travel arrangements and planning a lot more accessible and personalized. So these are trends that we have identified, and to really understand the market, we need to look deeper. So the beginning, like about when we first started, maybe 17 years ago, we really looked at how to cater to the general needs of the market, right? Providing halal food, providing basic necessities. But the market has not evolved with technology and with the different rising needs. There really is a need to look at the different profiles within this market. Which brings us to the topic today, which is the Muslim woman in travel and Muslim woman traveler. We've also released different segment reports over the years, from understanding Muslim millennial behavior to Gen Z behavior through interviews, in-depth interviews, and also a report that we released in 2023. So the market isn't a single group, we're not homogeneous. It's made up of diverse travelers with different motivations and needs. Similar to the general travel market, right? We've got different segments within the market as well. So we've studied these segments through the dedicated report. And why exactly Muslim women travelers? When we did the report, to date, little to no research has been done on the subject of Muslim women travelers. Although at that time, and now even, Muslim women travelers are an emerging subsegment, the reality is that Muslim women travelers are increasingly everywhere, be it traveling alone, with family, on business, on leisure. So in short, it's a rising trend that we could no longer ignore. So we wanted to deep dive into the intrinsic and extrinsic motivations, and in doing so, understand the potential of Muslim women travelers for destinations, tour operators, destinations, and businesses. So in this report, we gathered over 3,000 responses over various age groups and locations, majority from this region. So for today's episode, we'll go into the report and some of the recent findings from this report. So anytime if you have any questions, like what Nabila said, please feel free to drop it in the chat. And then we can address it later on in the Q&A. So, understanding Muslim women travelers. For Muslim women travelers, the study itself, there are sub-segments of the general Muslim travel market. And what you need to know about them is they don't travel in a one-size-fits-all kind of way. Um, yeah, okay. So their motivations, preferences, and decision-making processes are really unique. For example, especially Gen Zs and millennials, um, they really are the driving growth within this segment, and they're about to enter their peak earning years, meaning they have even more spending power in the next decade. And our research also shows that there are significant differences between Muslim women travelers depending on where they are from. So culture, geography, even socioeconomic background, all of this shapes how they travel. So the numbers. Back in 2018, when we did the report, there were about 63 million Muslim women travelers. So this made up about 45% of all Muslim arrivals. So I mean, this in the larger context of women travelers as a whole, women travelers as a whole already represents about two-thirds of international travelers. So this group is not small at all. So what this means is that if destinations and businesses do not cater to this segment, they're potentially missing out on nearly half of the Muslim travel market. And these are some of the stats on the numbers and the potential. So how are they exactly traveling, right? Interestingly, um, they identify with more than one profile. So a Muslim woman might travel solo, for example, then with family, then with friends. For example, personally, I travel with my family within the year, and then also other travel like for business, for work, and other types as well. So majority though, you can see, travel with family, and they have a huge influence in the decision-making process. And what's really interesting is the growing proportion who are either traveling solo, alone, or in all female groups, with 29%, right? So the flexibility, identifying with more than one profile means that, destinations need to design experiences that cater to multiple travel styles and travel groups. No, but of course, with opportunities, there are also challenges. And we have identified some of the common barriers that Muslim women travelers face when they travel. It's called the PAINS, P-I-N-S framework. So we developed the PINS framework to capture these challenges: privacy, amenities, identity, networks, and safety. Privacy, so many women value modesty, so things like restrictions on attire or bikinis at beaches or lack of private facilities can be a deal breaker for some when it comes to deciding on where to travel. Amenity, so availability of prayer spaces, family-friendly services, child-friendly services. So these are often these requirements often don't fully meet their needs. Identity is an interesting one. So there are biases related to gender, ethnicity, and being Muslim can make women travelers feel singled out. So this is I'd say primary challenge faced by Muslim women travelers. On top of the biases, some women feel due to the gender, the skin, the color, the ethnicity, identifying themselves as Muslim potentially add another possible prejudice to face. Networks, many want to connect with local women's groups or communities, but the information is not easily accessible, or the infrastructure is not easily accessible. Safety, and this is probably the biggest, with the rise of Islamophobia and general safety concerns, this really weighs heavily on women travelers. So addressing the five items in the PAINS framework isn't just about making Muslim travelers feel comfortable, but it's also building trust and enabling them to travel more often and more confidently at the destination. So when we talk about Muslim women travelers, right? We also talked about the segment reports previously. One group stands out and is especially influential in recent times is Gen Z Muslim women. So this is taken from our 2023 report on Gen Z Muslim women travelers. So they are very influential in trip planning, be it in all-female groups or family groups. That's not to say that millennial Muslim women travelers are not influential, but with the rise of technology and AI and all of this, Gen Z Muslim women travelers are just more influential when it comes to this part of the trip. So these are just some statistics taken from the report. So some big numbers you can see. More than 80% need social media as part of their journey. I think this applies not just to during the trip. Personally, like I can relate to this, although I'm not Gen Z myself. But when it comes to trip planning, right, researching the destinations, where to go, finding out, putting together the itinerary, the use of social media is really heavy here. And during the trip, of course, documenting the journey, and then after the trip again, documenting their experience and sharing it with others. So they're digital natives for sure. They also care about values, right? So 76% want social causes integrated into their travel. They want experiences. So 74% love Islamic heritage tours. 70% are looking for cultural immersion. 63% take opportunities to learn something new, right? And over 70% are heavily involved in family travel plans. So these are just some of the stats you see here. So what does this mean, it means that Gen Z Muslim women are not just passengers in family trips. They are decision makers, experience seekers. They are also driven by values and very socially conscious consumers. So destinations that win their trust will also win their families too. So, which destinations are already making progress in attracting Muslim women travelers? So if you have a look at this table here, which is taken from our Mastercard CrescentRating Global Muslim Travel Index, you see a side-by-side comparison of the top 20 Muslim women-friendly destinations. On the left is the non-OIC destinations, and on the right is the OIC destination. So if you look at the ranking, we can see interesting patterns. I think this year's report really shed a lot of interesting takeaways. So again, Singapore remains the top non-OIC destination with a score of 82. Reasons being, great safety, multicultural openness, really strong infrastructure for this market. So this combination makes it really appealing for solo or group female travelers. We're also seeing more Asian destinations climbing with scores in the mid to high 70s, reflecting the region's emphasis on Muslim-friendly services. You see Hong Kong has climbed to number 2, and Taiwan is also really aggressive in their marketing campaigns. I believe they won an award at the Halal Travel Global Summit, and you can see that in the promotions actually in Singapore on our billboard in public train stations for Muslim women-friendly destinations. So they're really making a big deal about it because it really is something to be proud of. So beyond Asia, you see places like Slovenia, Australia, New Zealand breaking into the top 20, and these destinations are recognized for their safety and respecting diverse faith practices. So I think what the takeaway is from this is that you see more and more non-OIC destinations opening up, investing deliberately in inclusivity and also safety on areas that matter to earn the trust of this segment. So this trust will translate into, spending and uh, travelers to the destination. So, what does this all mean? The Muslim women travelers are not just a growing segment, they're a powerful influence on how, where, and why um, Muslim families travel, be it traveling alone, be it travel with friends, or travel with their family. And also Muslim women travelers all look different. We dress different, but the core of what we look for when it comes to our faith-based need requirements when we go overseas and travel is the same. So with that, I end my presentation and open up the floor for Q&A. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat.
I think we received one questions in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we received one from Olivia Livenline.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see Saudi Arabia as preferred destination for Gen Z Muslim women?
Yep. I think the increasingly Saudi being very accessible now, not just for Muslims, but for anyone to enter, makes it a very attractive destination, not just for pilgrimage. I think of course, you cannot detach Saudi from that image, right? For Muslims, at least, when they go to Saudi, to them, it's still very much a pilgrimage site. Although Saudi tourism is doing a lot in promoting Umrah plus and encouraging travelers to visit other parts of Saudi. So I think that element of undiscoverability in other parts of Saudi would make it very interesting for young Muslim women travelers to go. And also, I think in terms of like safety and all of that, I think you can see like Saudi is very high on the list, right, for our top 20 ranking. So I can see it being more popular in the years to come. Can we, as
Yes.
researchers, collaborate with CrescentRating Academy for research on such topics? If so, how? I am interested. Okay. I think this is a really good question, and Taufik, who is also here, is our head of our research and Sierra Academy team. So if you have anything that you are interested to explore, you can always write into us at info@crescentrating.com, or you can write into us on our Instagram, which is @crescentrating.academy. Someone will reply and see how we can explore opportunities. Any more questions? Great.
Okay, we still open our floor for any questions. You can grab this chance to engage directly with our speaker. You can either keep your use the raise hand feature to ask directly, or drop your question in the chat box. We will try to address as many questions as time allows. Okay, we received another questions on the chat. Also from Olivia. Is there any partnership at the moment between Crescent and STA? Okay, Raudha.
Yeah, I think I know, no, Olivia, to answer that question, at the moment we are not directly have any active projects with the tourism authority. I see another question there. Muslim food, is it the most important factor for Muslim women for the choice of destination? Okay, good question. Um, I think for any segment within the Muslim travel market, food is always the most important thing they look out for. Um, within, what they look for when it comes to halal food, firstly, availability of halal food, whether there are options where they're going. I think secondly is whether this availability of halal food is local to the destination. So for example, if we're going to Japan or Hong Kong, halal food may be available, but is there local halal food? So are there like halal dim sums I can try? Is there like halal ramen I can try? And being able to provide and offer that variation so the Muslim women travelers or Muslim travelers, for instance, can experience, which is what they want, right? Authentic experiences. You want to experience what the locals experience. That would definitely elevate their entire experience. And the chances of having, returning travelers are also higher. While the Philippines is positioning itself as a Muslim-friendly destination, there are still perceived gaps. How should the hotels in the Philippines need to address these concerns to truly become a Muslim woman-friendly destination rather than just a Muslim-friendly one? Okay. Yeah, so I think the first step is, being Muslim friendly already means, you've already overcome the first step. How to be a Muslim woman friendly choice probably is to look again, at the Keynes framework and see what are the areas that typically concern Muslim women travelers when they go overseas, right? So safety is a big one. That's what we have highlighted. Because if they're going alone, they want to ensure that the hotel is safe for them if they want to travel alone. The neighborhood is also safe. Um, providing them with that kind of assurance on top of what you already have for the Muslim travelers would give them added confidence when we go to the destination. Yep. Okay, another question. I am from India, and what suggestions do you have for such places? There are issues regarding safety for women, as well as issues with Islamophobia. How do we navigate this idea to practice in such places? So I think I think in order for a destination or a hotel or brand to want to cater to this subsegment, right? I think you need to first educate the staff, educate the people working there on what are the needs of this subsegment and what exactly are they looking for when they are traveling to this destination, right? And being able to provide the assurance to them that you're able to assist them along this journey and addressing their concerns. I think that's one. I think secondly, also, from a destination point of view, if this is a subsegment that you want to target, then there probably needs to be some marketing involved, heavy marketing involved, promotions, being on social media, and promoting the place as Muslim woman friendly. So there needs to be that as well, so that there's awareness for Muslim women travelers, when they are making that choice and debating on where they want to go, right? Because word of mouth is also, I mean, online reviews is also very, they trust a lot on online reviews. So there is the dependency on how reputable the site is, your website is, your online review site, and your online presence is. So I think those two things. The question from Rista, how the tourism brands provide stereotypes and authentically address the needs of Muslim women travelers. So I think first is to think like them. So in your marketing, right? Obviously you need to have visual representation of Muslim women travelers, right? So if you are targeting this subsegment in all your marketing materials, you need to have someone that looks like them. So if I want to look at, I'm thinking, okay, do I want to go to Philippines? I want to go to Thailand? And, for example, Thailand's website has got people who look like me. I feel a lot more welcome in that destination, right? The same goes for for instance, like we do halal travel guides for destinations. We did one for New York City a couple of years ago. And in their image library, they did not have any talents of people that are visibly Muslim. So we actually sourced for some KOLs or some influencers, and they did a photo shoot. And if you look at the New York City Halal Travel cover page, it's two Muslim women looking at each other, and behind them is a skyline of New York City, right? So that says something, right? I know as a Muslim woman traveling myself, not only is the guide telling me that the city welcomes Muslims, but that it's also safe for Muslim women travelers. So I think look at, how the marketing is being done and whether there is representation in those materials. Next one. Are there online channels that can help the visibility of hotels who are Muslim friendly, halal accredited, and with Crescent rating? Yeah, I think I'm assuming that you're Crescent rated. Yeah, so I think probably the question is more related to marketing, since it sounds to me that your facility is really equipped with the Muslim friendly services. So in this instance, it's good to collaborate with different brands that are targeting this market. So, you could consumer brands, I mean. So look out anything for different online social media platforms or platforms that, talk about halal travel. It could be Instagram accounts or maybe blogs or maybe KOLs, to spread the word and to do a shout out about, how your services are Muslim friendly. I think also you could look at is participating maybe in some of the key events. Like for example, we also work, like Crescent Rating also works with hotels in Hong Kong and Mira Hotel. They did an iftar buffet earlier in the year. So that iftar got a lot of coverage, social media coverage. I think it got close to like 1 million views or something. So, doing some, participating in that kind of events get the word around as well online. So that kind of initiatives could help as well. So Singapore is already a very Muslim friendly. It's easy to find halal food around the city. From a hotel standpoint, is having halal certified dining still seen as a key criteria for Muslim travelers when choosing accommodation? I think this is an interesting question. Yep. So I think having a halal certified restaurant or establishment within the hotel would definitely enhance your USP to Muslim women travelers, right? Who are coming. They know that you offer halal breakfast. That would be an edge you have over other hotels. Because a lot of the hotels in Singapore that offer a halal restaurant is mostly, like 5-star hotels. So it could be an alternative avenue for them to explore. But Singapore is, as you said, very Muslim friendly. So within like a few meters, wherever your hotel is, you could definitely find halal food. So you could also tap on leverage on that, build a database of information of what are the halal restaurants around your hotel, around your brand, or around your business. So that, if anyone comes and asks you where is a halal restaurant, nearby halal restaurant, you're equipped to answer them without having to, look it up. So I think, yeah, educating and having that kind of information ready would help any travelers that come into your hotel. Good question. You can keep the questions coming. We still have a bit of time.
Well, I think we missed one question just
Oh.
now. Okay. The question is, are women Muslim travelers open to immersive experience of the destination's culture, history, and heritage? Will this be something that will encourage them to choose the destination?
Yep, sorry, I missed that. Yes, I think if you had a look at the slide I had on the statistics just now, I'm not sure if we can go back to that slide. Yeah, this one, right? So you can see that almost 70% of Gen Z Muslim women prefer cultural immersion activities. And 74% would love to experience heritage kind of tours. So I think what this means is, they when they choose the destinations, it's not just for checking off, all the places to go at the destinations. Like they want to go deeper and they want to experience the history. They want to understand, exactly the heritage of the place, the culture of the place, and go to maybe undiscovered places. So this would definitely be something, like what Nazia Aisha says, this would definitely be something that would encourage them in their trip planning process.
I hope that's answering the questions. As we still have a few more minutes for the Q&A sessions, let's try a quick mini poll in the chat. I hope everyone can try to interact together. So the question is that if you could choose a destinations to recommend to Muslim women travelers, what will be the destination? Maybe you can suggest a country or city. Yeah, you can just put it in the chat. In the meantime, if any of you have further questions to ask our speaker, you may also put it in the chat, or you can also directly ask by use the raise hand feature and open your mic. Yeah, we have recommendations for Wahin, Thailand. Olivia suggests Malaysia. Okay, some more. We also have recommendation for Indonesia. Some suggest Hong Kong. We also have someone suggesting Philippines, Mactan, Cebu. We also have another for Hong Kong and Jakarta as well. Yeah, it's quite a lot actually. The traits that we can figure out from this and based on what Rhoda already shared with us just now, that some of the destinations are offering a very good facilities that accommodate especially for Muslim women travelers. Okay, in the meantime, while we are heading to the end, before we end our sessions for today, I would like to say thank you to Raudha for all the valuable insights today. I hope everyone gets a very meaningful experience for today. And thank you once again for all the participations and also the engagement that we just received with recommendations in the chats. And before we wrap up here are some important notes I would like to share with everyone. A recording link of this webinar will be sent to your email box. So it will be available for only 3 days. So after 3 days, you wouldn't be able to access it. So try to have a look with on the link. And along with the link, we also share a feedback link. So your feedback is highly valuable to us. So feel free to fill the questionnaire. It will be included with the email. So on behalf of CrescentRating Academy, I would like to thank all, especially our speaker and also all our participants for joining us for Halal Tourism 101 Episode 3. We actually really look forward to seeing all of you again in our upcoming episodes. So you may follow our Instagram, CrescentRating.academy. If you have any screenshots, videos, or images from these sessions, you may also tag us using the hashtag HalalTourism101 and tag our account. And until then, stay safe, everyone. Take care and Assalamualaikum. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum.